When we tested the Flair Espresso Maker Pro, we were impressed by the quality of espresso it can produce. But the process is not so simple and there are many steps or even tricks to apply to get the best possible result. Hey guys, it's Tomo from European Coffee Trip, and in this video, since many of you ask, we take you through the process of pulling delicious espresso shots at home with Flair Espresso Pro. Let's make it clear. Espresso making is a challenging task and manual espresso makers don't make it easy either. That's why we want to share all the tips and tricks we'll learn when using Flair Pro. We will also talk about how to fix some of the main issues we run into ourselves or saw some other people struggling. Let's make one espresso together and get into details later. If you watch me closely, you saw that besides Flair, I use some extra tools that help me not only to pull espresso, but to keep my workplace clean. Let's look at them now. So we have here one or two cloths for keeping everything dry and clean, one cappuccino or latte cup to preheat portafilter and shower screen, another cup for the waste coffee that stays in the Flair after brewing espresso, some nice cup for making espresso, and barista scale, which is precise and measures the time, espresso grinder. You can use manual or electric grinder. We are using Comandante. And the last but not least, espresso spoon to mix our espresso and incorporate all the flavors. Before we start grinding, we will preheat brewing chamber and portafilter. Some argue whether preheating the portafilter and shower screen has an effect, but from my experience, I think it does. Pour boiling water in the brew head 4 times to be sure it is preheated enough. This is quite a safe method to get to required temperature of around 90 to 96 degrees Celsius. If the brewing chamber would be cooler, our shots would end up having some harsh, unpleasant acidity. Now we grind the coffee. Although Pro portafilter and brew head allow us to use more coffee than other Flair brew heads, I like to use smaller doses to get better balance and higher sweetness in the espresso. I think that slightly higher doses would work better with darker rows, so the coffee would open up more. Today we will use 17.5 grams of coffee ground on Comandante, 26 clicks with the red clicks. So now let's take everything out, but be careful because all the parts are really hot. Make sure the portafilter and shower screen are dry before we put the coffee in. Use a soft surface for tamping. If you look at the bottom, we'll put pressure on the basket so we don't want to damage it. That's why you don't have to tamp so hard. Now we put in the shower screen. How it is turned does not matter so much. I put it with larger holes facing upside. You can either start the timer when you apply pressure or like me when the water hits the coffee. Just make sure you know which method you are using when talking about brewing time. So let's start the timer. It's full. Pressure gauge, and now brain fusion, 1 to 2 bars for 15 seconds. First drops are coming out, 2 more, and now we slowly ramp up the pressure to our 7 to 8 bars. We are using scales to measure the output. You can choose the desired amount by your preference. With this coffee, I want to achieve slightly higher ratio, around 1 to 2.2, simply because the espresso has a nice velvety mouthfeel in this spectrum and yet it does not lose the intensity. So our beverage will be 17.5 grams in times 2.2, which is 39 grams output. Total brewing time is around 50 to 60 seconds. I had some tasty shots that were over a minute. Don't forget again, I'm counting time since the water hits the coffee. If I count it from the pre-infusion stage, we would have the numbers lower by around 15 seconds. After stopping the extraction, be careful, the brew head is still under pressure, so I recommend to squeeze all the remaining liquid into an extra cup. Here we have our espresso. Let's give it a stir and taste. Really nice. Because we use slightly higher output, the mouthfeel is super smooth, it's delicate, and the body is medium. It's almost like an espresso, but it's not so thick, which opens up the flavors even more. There is really nice sweetness, especially now coming in the aftertaste. The acidity is in the beginning of red apples, caramel and chocolate. The aroma is really nice, the texture is good. It's slightly less intense, but it really suits well with this Peru. So the only difference to professional machine is because Flair has a slightly smaller portafilter, you have to grind a little bit coarser, and that way we have more juiciness and more acidity in the coffee, like when you used the bigger portafilter. The most common problem I saw people struggling with is that coffee tastes sour, especially if they use light roasted specialty coffee. This can be solved by two things. Preheat properly. We showed you just one method in this video, but whatever method you use, the most important is to reach the temperature of the brew head at least 90 degrees Celsius. Sourness also comes from under extraction. Try to grind finer so your brewing times will be around 20 to 30 seconds since water heats the coffee for pre-infusion, and 30 to 40 seconds brewing. So total time should be at least 50 seconds. Another thing is channeling. Many times water squeezes around the coffee and you can see the hot stream of water spraying from the portafilter. Not only doesn't look good, but it might ruin your extraction. This can be avoided by a few things. Use a high quality consistent grinder that will not produce uneven grind. If you see any clumps, you can break them by shaking or using distribution tools. Another trick is to increase the pressure gradually, slowly. Do not rush to get to 9 bars quickly. If you want to skill up and get some advice from the amazing community of Flair users, check out Facebook group called Brew with Flair. You will find many tips, solutions for your problems right there. So this was us making amazing espresso with Flair Pro and sharing it so perhaps you can improve your skills at home. There are many variables in espresso making, and I would like to leave you with a simple but important tip. Always, when you dial in or want to change the flavor, do it by changing only one thing. Make another espresso, taste it, and then decide again what you will change next. This way, you will learn what influences the taste and how. So enjoy your coffee and see you next time!